Hey guys, Mark Boswell, Boswell Emergency Medical Education. Hey, so just going to do a quick little video for you. I'm going to push some information out here because I'm still getting emails and questions about how to set up a class and what's involved in bringing a class to your facility or whatnot. I do have on my webpage, under the frequently asked questions section, the FAQs, I do have the outline there of what you need to know about setting up a class, and I also have a link or two, I believe, on the business Facebook page. But I'm going to give it to you this way. Some people might prefer to be an audiovisual kind of learner. Also, it will give me a link that if someone emails me or whatnot, I could send them the link to this video and they can just watch the video. So, what do you need to know about setting up a CRN class at your facility? What are the pros and cons, and etc.? Well, the biggest pro, obviously, well, there's two that I believe are big pros to setting up your own class. Number one, you get to set it up for days and times that work for you and a majority of your staff, rather than trying to find a class and send, a couple handful of people. If we work together and schedule one at your facility, we can do pretty much any day that works for you. So a lot of educators and managers have worked with me to find out what days a majority of their staff that would like to go are available without having to do a lot of schedule swapping or vacation times, etc. So that's probably one of the big benefits right there. We get to pick the days you want to do. What days are options? Any days. Weekdays, weekends, I don't mind, because what we're going to do is we're going to schedule this out at least 3 to 4 months at least, so I can work my full-time ER schedule around what you want. So that's a huge benefit to you, because I've had other hospitals survey their nurses and find out what a majority of them, what their scheduled days off are, and then we brought the class in on their days off and had maximum participation. So any 2 days, weekdays or weekends. A lot of times at your facility it's easier to find classroom space on weekends when a lot of the Monday through Friday shirt and tie people are not on the campus, because I do ask for you to provide the room facility, the classroom for the class. But any 2 days back to back, class runs from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. both days with an hour for lunch. You are not required to provide food, drinks, or whatnot. If you want to, that's great. Typically, I don't get involved with that aspect of setting the class. It's just a little too much of a logistical headache for me being a solo business person, because I've still got many other things I'm trying to juggle at the same time. So food and drinks are optional if you want to provide them. If you do, I'd rather, we can discuss that on a one-to-one basis, but typically not required. The other big benefit to having your own class is, of course, the price. You first and foremost can save money, whether your nurses are paying out of their own pocket or they're getting reimbursed, but you can save money because they typically will not have to travel far because it's at their home facility. So that's a cost savings there. I also will discount the price of the class for any registered nurse from the host facility, so your employees get a discount. Now, the discount varies probably by 3 to 5% from class to class. A lot of it is factored in by my cost, the production cost, travel, etc. But typically what you'll see is almost a 50% savings off the base rate. Currently, for 2016, just as an example, the base rate for the class is $315 for the 2 days for 15 CEUs, or contact hours. For the host facility RNs, that's dropped down to $185. Now, that's for 2016. Every year, as cost of living goes up, inflation goes up, I do have to look at adjusting those. And again, typically it's going to vary about 3 to 5% maximum. That discount only applies to the host facility RNs. However, I will typically also extend it to RNs from other affiliates. Not from, quote, sister hospitals, but if there's another hospital in the region that is owned by the same company, then I will extend that discount to them also, because a lot of times they share the same network, they're under the same business ownership. And so if that applies, then we will make that applicable also to new registrants. What I do ask in exchange for the classroom space, I ask in exchange that you allow me to place people from outside the facility on a space available basis. And of course, they pay the higher registration rate. I ask for a classroom that will seat a minimum of 20 to 25. I'd like to lean more towards the 25 side of things. Usually the average class size is about 20 to 25, and that allows some seats for outside people to attend also. But again, those outside people are on a space available basis only. Your host facility RNs or the other ones within your same affiliate are a priority to get in that class. So 2 days back to back, classroom 20 to 25 seating. And time frame, now I mentioned about 3 to 4 months lead time. That varies by the season of the year. Now 2016 has been a very busy year for me, and these classes have been in high demand. And just as an example, right now, it is currently the beginning of May, the middle of May, and I'm already booking classes into November. So 5-6 months out from now is the earliest I'm doing now. And that kind of varies a little bit from year to year, just depending on how early educators and managers are wanting to do this or willing to plan ahead. I will say this, the further out, the better. Again, the further out, the more likely you can get all potentially interested nurses from your facility to work out their schedule changes or their days off. And again, further out allows me to have more flexibility to meet your needs. At my full-time job, I do self-schedule with my peers, and so I can pretty much do anything that fits your need. The only big block I have to doing any day, or I'm sorry, the only big prevention I have that doesn't allow me just to do any day you ask for is I am also a part-time federal employee with the national medical system, and every third month I am on call for the full month for immediate deployment for emergencies. And on those on-call months, I typically do not schedule classes because I'd hate to schedule a class for you and then get a deployment activation, in which case we have to deploy within 24 hours and then end up having to cancel your class. So I don't like to do that. I will typically avoid doing that. And then I may not always be on call 4 times during the year, sometimes 3, but we'll work around that. So sometimes if I tell you the entire month of X is unavailable, that may be the reason why, because I'm on call that month. But I'll try and work around whatever scheduling you need. So again, the time frame, the 3 to 6 months lead time, any 2 days, weekdays or weekends, seating for 20 to 25. Minimum numbers, I do ask for a minimum of 15 people at the lowest rate. Will cover my expenses and cover all the course costs with no out-of-pocket, no additional out-of-pocket expenses for the facility. Those 15 do not all have to be from your facility, as one of the terms of this will be that we open it up on a space available to people from other hospitals. That number can also include that minimum of 15. That being said, I'm up to 105 or 106 classes right now that I've taught. I've never had to cancel one due to lack of enrollment, but it is a caveat I put in there just to protect both our interests and especially my expenses, things like plane tickets, etc. that are non-refundable typically, unless they pay a much, much higher price. The first step we would do is look at dates, and then after we nail the dates down, we would review the price structure, and then there will be a simple 1-page letter agreement I will send to whomever is helping to facilitate this, and basically that will outline the terms, the dates, the fees, and the requirements, and we'll sign that and we'll be in business. It's just a basic liability agreement. Basically, I'm not going to get sued if 2 students start fighting each other and one winds up killing the other one, or if some student trips and falls on your property, that they can't sue me for being responsible, etc. So just a basic liability agreement for those kind of things. I cannot lock in any dates until we sign the agreement. Once we sign the agreement, it's locked, it's yours, no one else can touch it. And I say that because as busy as it's been lately, it's really a first come, first serve basis as far as setting these classes. And I've had to, kind of push other classes off or push them forward when an agreement was signed and someone else may have been looking at the same dates. So I encourage the facilities I work with to try and nail this down quickly once they're interested, so you can secure those dates. And that also helps future business that I have with other groups, because that way they definitely know what days I'm available and what days I'm not. Okay. What do you get with the class? 2 days of continuing education, teaching the latest CEN blueprint guidelines. The student gets a copy of the course book. It's a workbook. It's a syllabus. It's basically it's not really a textbook. It's basically a study manual, but the 2 days of presentations are based off of that, and it serves as a notebook as well as a study guide for that. Okay, just had a slam on the brakes there. They also get a certificate for 15 hours of continuing education to use towards their nursing license. And then there's also some supplemental handouts that we give out as well also. All those handouts and things are provided at no additional cost other than the basic registration. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that covers everything. I'm going to finish this up and post it online here shortly. And again, it's best that we just enter these discussions sooner rather than later, so we can lock down the dates for you and get things situated in. Okay. All right, Mark Boswell, Boswell Emergency Medical, signing off. I'm going to post this online shortly and hope to hear from you soon. If you have any other questions, email me or contact me via the webpage or directly by email. And have a great day. Thank you.